So, under this new normal, many of us are starting to daydreaming about traveling one day again. And even though we don't know exactly when that is, we do know that that'll probably look pretty different. We're joined this morning by Seth Kaplan, airline expert. Seth, it's great to see you.
Likewise, Jessica. Great to be here.
This is an interesting conversation because as we all start to do some virtual planning and travel ideas and daydreams, many of those dreams will hopefully eventually lead us to hopping on a plane one day. But when we do, that's going to look pretty different.
It will. Every time there's a crisis, things change. Those of us old enough to remember 9/11, airport security changed after that. We still take our shoes off in many cases at the airport because of the threatened shoe bomber. And this is the biggest crisis of them all at this point for these airlines. So it's reasonable to think that maybe the changes will be some of the biggest of them all. And in terms of those changes, I call them the four M's, four that I'm looking for: masks, minimal service, middle seats maybe being blocked, and money. So we can just sort of go through those. Masks. Anybody who's ever traveled to Asia knows that over there, you get on a flight, you'll see some people wearing masks, even though there's
Mhm.
kind of no immediate threat. And the reason is that they've had epidemics in the past. I mean, nothing quite like this, but that have affected them a lot more than here. SARS, for example, it was a much bigger deal back in 2003 in East Asia. And when you have something like what we're going through, we're all becoming germaphobes to some degree or another, whether you know it or not. And you're going to get on a flight, even once the worst of this threat hopefully passes here at some point, and you're going to see people wearing masks even 2 or 3 years from now, just like you'll see it in other areas of our lives. Minimal service. These airlines in the past few years, in some cases, have finally kind of restored some of what they took away back when they were
Yeah.
all really struggling last time during bankruptcy and all that for these airlines. And so the snacks on short haul flights, right? The Stroop
Just
waffles.
gotten used to them coming back.
Yeah, finally. Or you fly to Europe now in economy, you get a free beer and wine again, which was gone for a long time. They've stopped a lot of that. Right now it's on health grounds, and that's understandable. I mean, they don't want the flight attendants interacting with people more than they have to. But don't be surprised if that stuff isn't the first that comes back once times get better health wise, because these airlines are kind of back to square one, pinching pennies, struggling again to get through the day. And yeah, social distancing, right? We do it in every area of our lives. Those middle seats right now, Delta was the first, and others have done it too, to say we're going to block all the middle seats. Jessica, easy right now. Nobody's traveling anyway, right? That's
That's
not much.
right. Yeah.
What's going to happen when blocking middle seats means maybe turning away business? We'll see. There are airlines around the world that have said that they're getting ready for a possible, at least medium-term future of blocked middle seats. And then that leads me to that fourth M, money. What's going to happen with the cost of travel? So on one hand, Jessica, these airlines are going to have to discount to get us back on board, right? Once Dr. Fauci and experts say it's safe to travel again, safe to leave the house, basically, a lot of people are going to have to overcome their fears. Airlines are going to have to encourage that. And a lot of people just aren't going to have a lot of money. All the
Yeah.
economic pain right now, the unemployment, everybody's struggling. And so you can imagine they're going to have to discount. But on the other hand, they've crowded all those seats into airplanes in recent years. It's not so comfortable, but that's one thing that keeps airfares low is when they get all their money from more passengers. So if they can't get all the money from all those passengers, fewer passengers, if they are blocking middle seats beyond, a few months from now, that could actually push up airfares. Simple math. Fewer people got to get all the same money. They would charge more.
Yeah, I wondered about that. When you're thinking for a second, oh, the middle seat would be blocked, you might actually have a little elbow room, but it's got to come out of somewhere. So while they may go down temporarily, that may adjust things long term.
Exactly. And so you can imagine in the end, those last seats that they pack onto the plane. That's what they've been doing, right? Taking away leg room, taking away elbow room in some cases on some of those wide body jets that you fly to Europe. You might have 10 seats across instead of 9. I mean, they've been squeezing people together, and it's been uncomfortable. But this is very different right now, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't think in terms of that person next to us maybe making us sick. And one tip, by the way, Jessica, that's good at any time for the few people flying now, doctors, nurses, maybe going to save lives. And for all of us later on, there was a study a couple years ago out of Emory University down in Atlanta that found that people sitting in window seats get sick a little less often than people sitting elsewhere on the plane. It's nothing magical about the window. You're just not surrounded by as many other people. I
Many
mean, an airplane's
people.
basically a room
Hmm.
full of people. Granted, not as many people right now as usual. And the same things that work in any other environment work on an airplane too.
Interesting. Well, the four M's will be looking toward this: masks, minimal service, middle seats blocked, and money, money, money when it comes back. It's been good talking with you. Thank you, Seth.
Likewise, Jessica, you stay safe.
Appreciate it. You too. Thanks for talking with us. And of course, we'll have a direct link on our website later today, WTVR.com/VTM, so you can connect to more information. We appreciate Seth sharing these insights with us.